about you guys, but I never feel like I have any free time, man. I work a full-time job, so I'm pretty busy with that all day, every day. And then when I get home, I work from home, but when I get off, it feels like a rat race to try and enjoy everything I can with my hobbies before I have to go to bed and then wake up and get right back into working the next day. And one thing that I've kind of gathered is that, I'd have a lot more free time if I wasn't spending so much time on my phone. I'm not as bad as some people, but my screen time can run hours on the daily. And that's not just looking at my phone while I'm working. That is on my lunch break, watching a YouTube video on my phone, just on the couch, doing nothing. And yeah, you're supposed to enjoy your lunch break, but watching YouTube doesn't really feel like a interesting or productive use of my time. Scrolling through Reddit in my free time? Talk about a waste, man. A few weeks back, I watched Eddie Burbach's video about how he decided he hates his iPhone and he got rid of it. And I had to say, it kind of inspired me. And it actually inspired my wife too when she watched it. And we were thinking about, maybe we could do something like this. And yeah, okay, going completely no phone, that's too much for me. I can't go to a home phone, man. But what I can commit to is a flip phone. And here it is. My flip phone in the year of our Lord, 2025. My phone back, okay, let's see if you can see it. It's my cats. Oh, you can see my Shadow the Hedgehog poster in the background. So after we committed to the idea and said, you know what, screw it. Let's get rid of our phones. Let's switch to flip phones. Step one was to find a flip phone. So this bad boy is a Nokia. Nokia. It cost about 80 bucks. And from what I could tell from the research that I did, it was the lowest price for the highest quality phone you could get. I bought it from Best Buy and it literally arrived the next day. It's like Amazon started doing it and then every other company was like, okay, next day deliveries or we cannot compete. I got it. I got the thing set up. I put in my SIM card. And then I couldn't send or receive texts because it turns out you have to turn off iMessage on the iPhone. And the website that you can do that on wasn't working, but it said that I could do it on my iPhone, but I had to reactivate the SIM. So I reactivated the eSIM and I went and I turned it off. And then I went to go and reactivate the SIM card. But it turns out that after the SIM card has been activated and then deactivated, it can't be reactivated. They have to do like a special ticket that takes 2 days. But I didn't really want to wait 2 days with no phone because I couldn't turn the eSIM back on. I couldn't do both things, so I had to order another SIM. So moral of the story is I spent $20 basically to get this thing. So this essentially cost me $100, which saying out loud kind of seems like a lot. But I did it, and I've been doing it for close to a week now. And the first thing that you notice the first day and like the second day is how often you start to just instinctively reach for your smartphone in your pocket. When you realize it's not there, you're like, oh, right. Like, it just hits you. Like, it feels weird. But it's a habit that does go away really quickly. Like, sometimes when I'm sitting at my desk, I just grab the flip phone and I, like, open it and then I close it because there's nothing to do on it. But, like, I never am just standing around bored in the kitchen and go and, like, grab it out of my pocket. I don't know. It's a habit that breaks a lot quicker than you would think. Another thing that I noticed, not having my smartphone on me all the time, is just it's a little bit stressful filling those like weird 3-minute gaps that you have every now and then. I don't know. You've got work in 3 minutes and you need something to fill 3 minutes, It's so easy to just take your phone out and start scrolling through like Reddit or Instagram or whatever, go through some shorts, but you don't have that here. So you need to find different ways to fill 3-minute intervals, like playing a game on your Switch for a few minutes or just opening up like a website and just kind of scrolling through like the news or something, but that's at your computer. You're not doing it on your phone. If you're somewhere else, like you're somewhere out, you don't have that. Can you not? What are you doing? Oi. Say hi to the camera. Say hi, Kevin. Say hi to the camera, Kevin. Another thing that I've noticed as well is that those things that you tell yourself you need to do more of, but you just never really get around to doing it, you start doing those things. Like for me, always I'm telling myself, I need to read more. I should read more, but I never do. I never read. Sometimes every now and then I get a little bit of a drive and I start reading a little bit, but it's just the path of least resistance is just looking at my phone. So that's what I'm gonna do 90% of the time, obviously. But when I don't have the option, keeping a book handy, I mean, that, you pick it up. You get bored for a few minutes, you pick it up. You give a few, you read a few chapters, a little page even. You know, I used to read a lot as a kid, but as I got older, as I got into my teenage years and I had a smartphone, I stopped reading as much. And I know it's a healthier habit, man. It's way healthier than just doom scrolling on your phone. So it feels good, the fact that I've actually been able to start reading a little bit. I say a little bit, but I've read a full book. I read an entire book. I started this on Saturday, right? I started this whole phone thing on Saturday. I started reading this book since then, and I finished it. Not even it was like 2 days ago that I finished this book. I read this whole book in like 3 days. I don't remember the last time I've read a book in I don't know if I've ever read an entire book in 3 days. There was one summer where I was working as a lifeguard, and I read like 7 books that summer. And that was like 10 years ago, probably close to 10 years ago at this point. And that was probably the last time I've ever like read this much in my life. I've also been playing more video games, which is cool because I always feel like, oh, I should be playing video games. I shouldn't be doing the path of least resistance. I shouldn't be just scrolling on my phone. I should be doing what I enjoy. And what I enjoy is playing video games. But, you know, video games, it involves standing up, putting a game into the thing, or going and having to decide what game you want to play. There's a little bit that goes into it. Just a little bit, you know, just a little bit goes into it. And that's just enough that it makes it easier to just scroll through Reddit on your phone. Another thing that I've noticed too is that when I bring up that I switched to a flip phone to people that are around my age, they get it. I don't even have to explain myself. To people that are older, like my mom, to my in-laws, you know, there's a little bit of explanation that you need to do. The 2 people that I've told so far about the flip phone that are my age, 3 people, they both were like, that's awesome. You don't need to explain. We get it. They didn't say that, but I didn't even have to explain why we had it. They understood intuitively why I had a flip phone. And I think that's very interesting. Like with my wife, she told her dad about how she had switched to the flip phone, and he thought it was interesting. He didn't totally, I think he kind of got it, but it involved explaining it, you know? And what was something that was interesting is that he said he would never do that. You know, he would never switch back to a flip phone, and that he loves having his phone and he wouldn't want to go back to a time before smartphones. And I get that. I do, but I think that's because he kind of grew up in that time. I think when you grow up with the smartphone, it kind of creates a different relationship with. You are so rude. Don't get a cat. When you grow up with a smartphone, you have a completely different relationship with it. It kind of controls your life more in a way. I think when you don't grow up with the phone, you can still have the phone and still have hobbies and not get addicted to it. But when you grow up with it, it's a lot harder to break from the addiction and to just have the phone as something that's there for those 3-minute distractions. And then the rest of the time, enjoy yourself, watch the TV shows you want to watch, play the games you want to play, you know, read the books you want to read, the news, whatever it is, you know, you can do all of those things, right? You make time for them. But when you are addicted to your smartphone, you don't make time for those things. Or rather, you have to make time for them. You know, it's not just something you do. It's something that you specifically go out of your way to do. You know, there's stuff that you would think that you'd miss, but you don't end up actually missing. Like, I thought that I would miss being able to send pictures all the time, because obviously I'm texting with my wife all day, all the time, and we're sending each other pictures back and forth on iMessage just constantly. And so I thought that I would miss that and feel a little stressed out that I'm not able to just constantly send stuff to her. But most of the stuff that I'm sending is just screenshots of things that I saw on my phone, or like memes or something like that. I'm not really sending her photos that I took all the time. And you know, this thing's got this thing's got a crappy little camera on it. So if I ever need to take a picture, I can take a picture. And I haven't completely locked away or gotten rid of my phone. If I desperately need my phone for some reason to take a picture, I just have it in a little safe in the closet. And I'll open up the safe and I'll take it out and do what I need to do with it. Another thing that's interesting is just not having Google in your pocket at all times. Like, I am so used to just anytime I have a question about anything, I can just get the answer immediately from Google. Immediately. But now I'll be having a conversation with my wife and we'll be like, oh wait, who was in that movie? What was, whatever it might be. And if one of us wants the answer, one of us has to stand up, walk to the other room, get on the computer, and clicky-clack type in our question on Google to get the answer. And it's not really like an issue. It kind of is. I don't even really know how to describe that feeling of not being able to constantly have a flow of information coming into you. It's weird. And, I did have this when I was a kid, because I do remember a time before smartphones, but it's different, it's different when you've been doing it like this for longer now than I was doing it like that before. Like, I've had a smartphone for longer than I didn't have a smartphone, I think, at this point, at least. I'm also a complete YouTube addict. I watch nothing but YouTube constantly. So now I can only put YouTube on like the TV or on the computer. I've also been doing it on my Switch a little bit, but it's like, what's nice about that is that I can't do multiple things at once on the Switch. Like, if I want to put YouTube on the Switch, I can't play games now on my Switch. It's YouTube now. It's YouTube o'clock. So it's been forcing me to watch way less YouTube, which again is one of those things where it's like, I love YouTube, but it eats up a lot of my time. Time that could be better spent on playing a game that I would enjoy, or going for a walk, or reading a book, interacting with media, rather than watching YouTube videos of people breaking down the entirety of like iCarly or something like that. I could just be watching iCarly. Do I need to watch an 8-hour breakdown? No.
Yes.
I also have like a kind of a decently sized collection of records that we've been building up, and I had not been using the records at all. But since I don't have YouTube constantly on my phone, I can't just blast YouTube during all of my chores. So we've been listening to records more, and it's cool. I really like interacting with media in a physical way, rather than just everything being digital and being streamed. Like, you get the record, you place it on the thing, you press the button, and the song plays until you get to the end and you have to go and flip it. I don't know, there's something kind of charming about having to do that. And I know it's arguably worse, because it is that you have to go and do and put all this effort into it, right? There's a reason that people that grew up with that much prefer streaming, obviously. But there is, like I said, something that just feels more human about connecting with your media in a way that is physical. Another thing that's interesting is that I feel like I've been kind of exploring my hobbies and my interests more naturally, rather than having, like new ideas for hobbies constantly being forced down my throat by like algorithms, So you're scrolling through like YouTube shorts, and you see a YouTube short pop up that's like, Brazilian bongos. I don't know. And it's this guy having the time of his life doing some Brazilian bongos, and it looks like fun. It looks like a fun little workout. So you're like, I could do Brazilian bongos. So you go and you buy, are Brazilian bongos a thing? Go out and you buy your own Brazilian bongo set, and you start playing it, and you're having a good time, and then you stop playing it because you realize that you don't actually have any interest in Brazilian bongos. Why did the algorithm think I was gonna like Brazilian bongos? I don't like Brazilian bongos. Maybe that's a bad example, I don't know. But I don't know, it's kind of like, I feel like I've been kind of getting into coffee a little bit, and yeah, a part of that is definitely from like seeing shorts popping up and watching them every now and then. Can't help myself on the computer, they still show you shorts on there. But then I'm kind of like Googling stuff and doing like research and kind of going down a rabbit hole. And I feel like I'm doing it because I'm genuinely interested in it, rather than an algorithm has kind of shown me it and gotten me to feel interest in it. Obviously, I'm able to focus at work better, but that's a given. I really want to talk to Paige about it and get her experience, because she is somebody who had a worse problem than me. She spent a lot more time on her phone than I did, and she actually would go on social media. Honestly, all I would use is like Reddit and YouTube. I have this thing where I don't care about the lives of my friends or family. Call me terrible, call me what you will, but I don't keep up with what's going on. I don't scroll through Instagram ever. I don't care what people are up to. So I'm just kind of curious to get like maybe Paige's thoughts there on like what it's like without the social media. So I'm gonna talk to her. We're gonna cut to her. We're gonna have a conversation and kind of see what her experience with this whole thing has been like as well.
Please state your name for the camera.
Paige Houlihan.
This is my wife. So you and I did something, well, for me it was starting Saturday, and for you it was Thursday, right? Where we switched from the smartphones to flip phones.
Yeah.
How have you been finding it so far? You're over a week now. I'm
Yeah.
a week as of today, and you're over a week now. So how have you been finding it, like being on a flip phone and not having your smartphone easily accessible at like any time.
It was really hard at first. Like, I was constantly reaching for it.
Yeah.
And there are so many little things that, like, you don't realize that you just do all the time that you need your smartphone
Like
for.
Googling stuff randomly.
Like, Googling stuff randomly, like, routing you anywhere. Like,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
no mental map, so I use Google Maps for everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And even just checking the weather in the morning. Like,
Yeah.
nowadays, I have no idea what temperature it is outside unless I look it up on my computer. Like,
Yeah.
Whereas instinctively, I would just look at it every morning on my smartphone.
Of course, it's like spring, so it's like, do I dress for cold? Do I
Yeah.
dress for hot? It's like, I need the phone
hard.
to tell me. You know, I have to literally like go and check the weather on my computer in the morning before I decide if I'm wearing shorts or pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which normally just quick, 2-second thing on my phone. And, but now I have to like sit down, type weather into Google on my computer and I don't know, it's weird, but
Yeah. But on the other hand, it makes it a lot harder to do all the little things on your phone that you don't want to end up doing, but you get sucked into.
Oh yeah, like you go to check the weather and then suddenly you've spent like 20 minutes scrolling through YouTube Shorts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Now, I like walk all the way over to my computer, intentionally check the weather, and I'm not going to get sucked into anything else.
Yeah. At worst, you might sit down and throw on a YouTube video or something,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like if you walk away from your computer for any reason, it can't follow you. It's
That's right.
it's in the room.
It's not just in my pocket, available wherever I am.
Yeah, and so you actually had jury duty this week. So, and you didn't bring your smartphone with you. You actually, I can't believe you actually did it. I thought you were gonna break here, but you brought the flip phone. You didn't bring your smartphone. And I know you were saying like you actually found yourself talking to people a little bit more that you probably wouldn't have been talking to like if you had you would just face buried in the phone.
Yeah, constantly. Yeah, just like sitting there bored with nothing to do. I found myself like just having random chats with like strangers a lot more.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I have social anxiety, so those kind of situations where I don't know anyone are really uncomfortable for me, and so I'll just bury my face in my phone to avoid any kind of slightly uncomfortable social interaction.
Yeah.
But it's forced me to get a little bit out of my comfort zone because I don't have something I can just like hide from the world and bury my face in.
Yeah, you don't really like it takes away the excuse, It takes away like the easy. It's the path of least resistance is just going on your phone, avoiding all eye contact with everyone around you and just scrolling through like, whatever, my Instagram reels or something,
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a signal to the people around you like, oh, this person's doing
they don't want to
something
talk
on
to
their
me.
phone, they're busy.
Yeah, they don't want to hear what I have to say, And but another thing that was cool that you mentioned is that since you didn't have the phone when you were at jury duty, you were reading a book, and you had people like asking you what you're reading, and I was thinking about that. I said like the fact that when you're on your phone, nobody sees what you're doing, and also it's a little bit creepy if somebody comment like, "Oh, you on Facebook? Like, why are you looking at my phone?"
True.
But it's like the book. It's like, you can't hide the book that you're reading, so it's people are gonna ask like, "Oh, how is it? Is it good? Is it your first time reading?" Like, and know anything else by the author?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if they see a book that they've read, and it's like an immediate connection that you have with the person, and something you can like talk to them about. Whereas like with the phone, it's the phone. Everybody's always on the phone, so you never know what anybody is doing at any time. You don't know like what their interests are, their hobbies. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, the phone tells you nothing.
Nothing.
Maybe like they have a cool phone case, and you can say, "Oh, that's a cool phone case."
Yeah.
And then it's like conversation.
Like
over.
most people don't even have a phone case, so it's like, or if they do, it's a boring one. Yeah, and it's true. It's like it's like somebody compliments your shoes. It's like, well, thanks.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, the book was a really good thing to have on me, and it's funny. I was reading The Hunger Games, and it's like everybody's either read The Hunger Games or watched a movie.
Or has some sort of opinion on it.
Mm-hmm. And so I had tons of people like starting conversations based off of that.
Yeah,
it was nice.
Cool. No, I remember like when I was a kid that my mom would be reading a book at the pool when we would go, and like people would constantly be like, start conversations with her about it. It's just like you never have those interaction. You do have those interactions, but they're so rare nowadays, especially like people around our age range, like people that grew up with smartphones. I feel like it just gave a generation of people social anxiety, and we don't know how to talk to each other. And it's like, when you're off of the phone though, when you don't have that option, it forces you to. And I like would guess that most of the time the social interactions are going to be more with like older people.
Most of the time.
Yeah, because the young people, they do have their phones. They're locked in. I I am curious because for me, I don't look at Instagram or Facebook or like anything because I have this thing where I don't care about the lives of my friends or family at all. I know that I'm the weird one for this. Everybody else seems to really care. I don't care what's going. I don't care that like my cousin was in Hawaii. I don't give a single shit.
Yeah.
Like great for them. I'm glad for them. I don't need to see the pictures. But like you like to use social media a little bit. Like you like to look at your like keep up with what your friends are doing and stuff like that. How has it been like not like being checked out from what's going on with like your friends and family?
I kind of feel a little bad sometimes, like
Really?
being checked out because I did like look at social media. So like my friend Bella, she like posted a bunch of pictures from her recent trip, and she showed them to me in person. But I didn't get a chance to like go on my computer and specifically open up Instagram to scroll through it a little bit, and so I haven't like liked or commented on it at all. I just.
But you don't need to. You don't have your phone.
Yeah, when.
You told her in person, right?
Yeah, I did. But, like, when you're so, like, when it's a generation that's so locked into, like, social media and stuff, when someone doesn't do stuff like that, like on your, like your post.
Who normally does.
Comment, then it can be seen as, like, a negative thing. So.
Right. It's like, is there something wrong? Is she mad at me?
Yeah.
Like, is she mad that, like, I don't know, like, you just start getting in your head about it?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's, like, I don't have, like, that's... I can't relate to that one.
Yeah.
What?
You just didn't do social media ever, so.
No, I did when I was younger, but
Right.
I stopped a really long time ago because I just don't care.
When people know it's like not your thing.
Yeah, no, people definitely know it's not my thing because I post on Instagram once every like 2 years. You know, like I posted in the last couple of years on Instagram. I posted when we got engaged, randomly when we went to the rodeo, and then when we got married.
Only the important stuff.
Yeah, okay, all right. I just wanted to get another opinion from somebody who's doing the same thing that I am, who also isn't me, and has, especially like the social media thing, because it's like, that's my blind spot, so I don't have, like, I can't, I'm not relatable on that at all, so, but anyway, thank you for talking to me. It was nice meeting you for the first time, stranger.
You're welcome, my husband, stranger.
Husband, wife, buddy, stranger.
So I just realized while editing that I never recorded an outro, and that was because I was waiting until I was done with the whole process to record an outro of recording everything. My cat just left. So this is going to seem a little erratic because it's 7 in the morning. I'm a little on coffee right now. But yeah, so this has been an interesting experiment for me. I'm actually recording this. It's been like probably 2 weeks now, I think, actually, that I've had the flip phone. So I still have it. I still haven't switched back, and it's been good. It's been an interesting experience, and I'm going to stick with it for the foreseeable future. And thank you for watching this video, guys. Maybe I'll post an update. If there's any interest in this, maybe I'll post an update in like a few months or something if I'm still doing it, and kind of give you just life updates, how I feel, how things are going. But until then, again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, liking. I try to post weekly. That being said, I'll see you guys next week.